If you've tried Accutane, the birth control pill, tretinoin, removing a ton of different foods, adding in a ton of different foods, adding in herbs, all of the things, and none of them have worked, I'm going to share the one reason why, the one action step that you're missing, plus 5 action steps you can take today to start to clear your acne naturally with food without all of these other things, and the biggest secret of natural acne clearing. So stay until the end for that. And this is coming from someone who has helped over 1,000 women clear their acne naturally with food. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new one so that you will be in the know for all of the natural acne clearing tips that I share. The main reason that your acne treatments haven't worked thus far is because they are only addressing one part of the process. I talk about this a lot, probably too much. I don't care. It's so important. You need 4 conditions at your pore to break out. Okay, that's why you get acne. These 4 conditions can tell you so much and can inform so much. Number 1, you have too many skin cells at your pore. Number 2, you have too much oil at your pore. Number 3, the skin cells don't come off the top layer of your skin the way they should. And then number 4, P. acnes gets into this overly crowded, overly oily pore and a breakout forms. That's how acne starts. Now, every single treatment that you've tried thus far has only addressed one aspect of this issue. So for example, let's say you've tried tretinoin. It may sound counterintuitive, but tretinoin addresses that third part of the process, okay? It increases skin cell turnover at a rapid rate. It irritates the skin and it increases skin cell turnover, which is why you have purging when you go on something like Retin-A or tretinoin, because it basically just makes you break out quickly, which only addresses one part of the problem. I was on tretinoin, I would say maybe 6 times. And I would take it, I would purge, I would cry. But then for like 2 to 4 months, my skin would be clear, like things were nice. But then it would come back. Womp, womp. The second treatment you might have taken is that you've removed a ton of foods in the hopes that it'll help to clear acne, but this approach does not work. There are 3 big issues with this approach of just restriction and removing a bunch of foods. Number 1, there isn't one food that's causing your problem. I promise you, it's not one food. It's not because you had bread yesterday. It's not. 182% not. All of our clients in the Clear Code program come in thinking and or assuming that there's one issue, one food, one thing that's causing their acne. It's never one thing, I promise. And that's why lab tests or blood tests or hormone tests or gut health tests usually won't fix the problem, again, 99 times out of 100, because their acne is a systemic issue. There are so many different factors that lead to the creation of a breakout. So removing one food is only going to lead me to the second issue with this problem, and that is that restricting a ton of foods will just put you on this kind of binge restriction cycle. Binge restrict, binge restrict. You'll avoid dairy, you'll avoid sugar, you'll avoid all these things, and then at the end of the day, none of it will have really impacted your acne. You'll feel more discouraged. You'll eat everything in sight, and then your skin might get worse, and then it'll affirm that there's something wrong with the food, and then it just keeps going, right? Type yes below if that sounds familiar to you. This kind of restrict versus binge cycle as it relates to your acne and it relates to food, and it creates food fear, which also is not going to help you. The third way that this restriction from a food perspective action step doesn't work is because your gut health is deeply linked to your acne via the gut-skin axis theory. And if and when you remove a lot of different foods, you will definitely struggle from a gut diversity perspective. You'll struggle to feed the right type of bacteria to keep your skin healthy. Our gut needs and wants a wide variety of fruits and vegetables, and if and when you deprive it of that, you run the risk of feeding the wrong bacteria. In terms of the birth control pill, let's say you've tried that and you thought it worked, maybe it worked for a little bit, but then the second you went off, things went haywire. The reason the birth control pill works is usually, again, everyone's a little different, but it blunts androgen activity, so it can kind of artificially lower testosterone levels, which can then decrease sebum activity at the pore so that it impacts that second factor, too much oil. So it can kind of work in the short term, but what happens if and when you don't like the side effects? It makes you feel moody or gain weight or gives you low libido. Or what happens if and when you want to start trying to get pregnant? What do you do then? From a topical perspective, benzoyl peroxide, salicylic acid, all these different types of acid products kind of work on factors 1 and 2, the outside-in stuff. So they'll attempt to, factors 2 and 3. So too much oil and skin cells aren't coming off, and or P. acnes. They'll try to address the bacterial factor. So when you use something like benzoyl peroxide, salicylic acid, something that works on the bacteria, you can see this temporary shift in your skin, right? But then your skin, the bacteria becomes resistant to what you're using topically, and then it all comes back. How many of us have tried something like benzoyl peroxide, seen it work for a few months, and then everything starts coming back? This is because it's only working on one factor. Same thing goes for something like Accutane. Accutane can shrink your oil glands, so it can make that sebum activity decrease. But then what happens in a few years? Things might change, those oil glands might shift. You might have an increased amount of sebum anyways because of other lifestyle factors, and then what happens? I've had so many clients come to me who've been offered multiple rounds of Accutane, and or who maybe used Accutane once or twice. My client Ashley did that, and then it came back anyways. So they took this really significant, kind of scary drug for a while. It worked for a little bit and then it stopped. So as promised, I wanted to share the secret to natural acne clearing that relates back to these issues. And that secret is that given those 4 conditions at the pore, right? Too much oil, too many skin cells don't slough off, and then P. acnes gets in, there are underlying lifestyle factors that you are taking action on every day that are contributing to those 4 conditions at the pore. And when you address those, you can see a huge shift in your skin and get massive results from an acne clearing perspective naturally without these drugs. And if this is resonating right now, or if that sounds exciting to you, hit the like button to make sure that you'll be notified when I post more videos like this. So that being said, given all of that information, let's discuss the 5 action steps you can take instead of using these drugs, essentially, to clear your acne naturally with food so that you can get clearer skin in 14 days or less. Truly, that's how fast these results can shift if and when you take really consistent targeted action. We want to make choices and take action steps that are linked back to these 4 conditions, specifically conditions number 1 and number 2. I find that if and when we can address those, too many skin cells and too much oil, we can have a huge impact on our skin really, really fast. You want to impact these kind of inflammatory issues early so that you can start to slow the creation of new breakouts. Anything that promises that it can clear your acne overnight, again, it sounds beautiful, but it's probably not real and it's probably not sustainable. You want slow, sustainable, manageable, and actionable action steps that you can follow for life that will slowly stop acne from starting in the first place. So we want to focus on the lifestyle factors that are impacting too many skin cells and too much oil. In the Clear Code, I usually see too many skin cells associated with blood sugar management issues and hormonal issues. Those are the biggest challenges that I see. And I see too much oil production linked to hormonal imbalances, generally speaking. So let's go into each quickly and define the action steps you can take to address them. From a blood sugar perspective, I'll go really nerdy and then make it really simple. One study that really confirmed all of this for me had to do with the fact that high blood sugar levels essentially led to excess skin cells at the pore. I'll put it on the screen for you and then we'll walk through it in the easiest English possible because this is for nerds, #nerdalert. Hyperinsulinemia affects the level of circulating IGF-1 and insulin growth factor binding protein, which directly affects keratinocyte proliferation and apoptosis. So what does this mean in English? Eating a diet high in sugar can lead to higher levels of glucose, which can lead to higher levels of insulin, which can lead to higher levels of insulin growth factor 1, which increases skin cell at the pore. Super simple. So what 2 action steps can we take today that can positively impact your blood sugar levels? Number 1, have a high protein, high fat breakfast. The simplest breakfast you could possibly put together would be half an avocado, 2 eggs, some berries, and Brazil nuts. Done, done, done. Supports healthy blood sugar levels, healthy fats, healthy proteins, and will really satiate you in the morning. Number 2, have a healthy fat with every snack. So we're talking coconut chips, almonds, walnuts with each snack throughout the day so that you're blunting your blood sugar rise and you're not skyrocketing your blood sugar, especially in the afternoon. If you go for like a muffin or something, have a fat with it. Now, let's discuss too much oil that is linked to hormonal imbalances, so too much sebum at the pore. The 2 causes of this from a lifestyle factor that I usually see are stress and/or an androgen rebound. Now, very important. Stress will not cause your acne alone. Stress alone will not cause your acne. I said it twice. It's important. I'm stressed out occasionally. My skin is completely clear. Stress is never the cause of your acne. It's usually the straw that breaks the camel's back. When and if you're chronically stressed or even like sporadically stressed and you see acne associated with that, it's usually because you are spiking up your cortisol, epinephrine, adrenaline, adrenal hormones, all of these adrenals and your hormones are all spiking up really, really high. And then as a result, what happens is you can see this increase in sebum as a result. Your body sends out all of these chemical messengers, all these different things happen, and then you just have too much oil at your pore. When you're stressed, that usually means too much oil. So finding action steps from a stress perspective can be really helpful. And again, I know it's tricky. Stress is a tricky beast. Increasing androgen levels is usually what I see after coming off the birth control pill. So let's say you were on the pill for an extended period of time and you stopped. What usually happens is your testosterone levels will slowly increase. So they're gonna start to creep up, and then your sebum levels at your pore will increase. And then if and when you're also struggling with liver detoxification, so some type of estrogen dominance, and or you're struggling with constipation, for example, you might not even be getting rid of the excess testosterone every day as well. So not only is it increasing, but your body's having trouble getting rid of it. So it's like this domino effect. So 3 action steps you can take to address these specific issues to start to positively impact oil levels at the pore are: number 1, don't have coffee on an empty stomach, have it with breakfast. Number 2, drink dandelion tea and spearmint tea together once a day at night. Spearmint tea was shown to decrease androgen levels, and dandelion tea helps support estrogen detoxification. Number 3, have cruciferous vegetables 1 to 2 cups a day. So that's broccoli, kale, bok choy, what am I missing? Brussels sprouts, broccoli. Having those once a day can be, having 1 to 2 cups of those a day can really support estrogen detoxification, testosterone detoxification, which can positively impact androgen levels, which can lead to lower levels of sebum at the pore. So now you have these 5 action steps, right, that I just shared about this specific issue. What should you do now? Number 1, I want you to put them into your calendar and on your to-do list. If and when you don't account for them and you don't take action in terms of defining when they'll fit into your life, is it gonna happen? For me, the answer is no. Number 2, take pictures. Go to a window, there's a window right here. Go to a window, take a picture of this side of your face, of this side of your face, of this side of your face, in really like rough lighting, just do it. And don't look at those pictures again for 2 weeks. Which leads us to action step number 3, which is in 2 weeks, analyze your skin. Define how many breakouts you had when you started. How many do you have now? Are things better? What helped the most? Really analyze the data. Try not to be emotional about it. I know it's so hard, but try not to be emotional about it and really analyze the information that you're looking at. Now, if this information was really helpful and you want to go deeper, we have a Root Acne Triggers webinar wherein we go over the 7 main root acne triggers plus 9 action steps you can take to start to clear your acne naturally. So if you want to check that out, click via the link below. And or if all of this information resonated tremendously with you, but you feel like you've tried some of it, and or you have half of the equation, but you just need help. You want someone to help you start to clear your acne naturally with a proven plan to clear your skin from the inside out. Apply to my natural acne clearing program, The Clear Code, wherein we define your root acne triggers, put a specific and customized meal plan and action step plan in place for you to clear your acne naturally, and then we define your Clear Code, which outlines your clear skin lifestyle plan. That being said, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new one, and or send this over to someone that you know that's struggling with this challenge, and or tag them below so that we can chat back and forth about their history and see what questions they might have about natural acne clearing. See you in the next one.